Having a position inside of our matrix is the equivalent of buying some property on the Monopoly game. It's the equivalent. It's all about prime real estate. As a matter of fact, should you partner with someone who's just getting started, your matrix position with them is just like having Boardwalk or Park Place. You know what I'm saying? The two best properties on the game, right? Now, in order to unlock the matrix, for those of you all who do not know, in order to unlock the matrix, you need obviously to have referred this opportunity to at least 2 people. That unlocks the first 2 levels. I bring this slide up right here to show you the progression from our builder program. Obviously, 3 ITAs will make you a bronze builder. 6 ITAs makes you a silver builder. 9 ITAs, you are a gold builder. Now you're getting the $10 team bonuses. Obviously, you're going to get the 10% personal match on travel commissions. But most importantly, as a gold builder, I love this part right here. Most importantly, you are making the 10% on the match, 10% personal match on the matrix commissions. That is phenomenal right there. That's powerful. So let's look at the matrix. 9 levels deep, going down by multiples of 3. Each level is paying you $4 per person per level, each and every one of them, right? So no matter who puts the person in your matrix, it doesn't matter. If they're in the matrix, they're paying you $4 a month. This is crazy. And look, y'all got to bear with me. I'm still trying to figure out how in the world to use this Zoom while I'm talking to y'all at the same time. We don't like this Zoom stuff all that much, but it works. Okay, here's where I want to go to next. I'm going to give you a real live demonstration of what the matrix looks like. So we talk about it going 3 levels, three levels deep, in increments of 3, 9 levels deep, in increments of 3. I'm going to give you a real live example of my matrix, starting with my number 1 position, Miss Tamia Jones and her lovely husband. Together they are in my number 1 spot on my matrix. Now, right now, as you guys can see, collectively in Tamia's matrix, I personally sponsored her. Right now, she has well over 270 some odd people within her matrix. That means she's getting paid $4 a month on everybody that's in her matrix. So that means, guess what? Just by doing the simple math, we can almost count her paycheck, but that doesn't include the weekly bonuses. It doesn't include the team bonuses, right? All of this is what this company is offering us just through this simple matrix. She took a position. She took my first position, and as a result of that, her matrix is growing by leaps and bounds. Now, personally, to me, I believe has sponsored probably about 20 people personally. Let that sink in. She has probably sponsored at least 20 people, maybe a couple of more, but she's getting paid for well over 275 people. That is amazing. Let's look at her matrix. The first 2 positions of her matrix, she personally sponsored those people. The third person, if you look down here on this little screen, the third person is Miss Jessica Miser. I personally sponsored Jessica Miser. Because of the way the matrix works, I can only have 3 people on my first level. Jessica was the 4th person that I sponsored. And then she was placed in the matrix of Tamia. And they didn't even know each other at the time. But now Jessica ends up in Tamia's book of business. Now let's look at Jessica's matrix. Jessica, who fell under Tamia because of me and what I did, now Jessica is building an organization. She has well over 200 people in her matrix. And guys, understand that when you got 100 people in your matrix, whether you are a director or not, you're getting paid like a director. Jessica has well over 200 people in her matrix. Now, what's interesting is, watch this. Again, the way our matrix works, Jessica, first person was a Joseph Carter, right? Joseph Carter decided he wasn't going to do too much, but because of the powers that be, because of the blessings from above, the way our matrix works, Daryl Jenkins is in Jessica's number 2 spot. And it wasn't because Jessica personally sponsored him. Daryl Jenkins was sponsored by Mr. Preston Scott. But the way this matrix works, Daryl Jenkins ended up in the business of Jessica, also being in the same business of Tamia. So now watch this. You all know that Daryl Jenkins, congratulations and shout out to him again. Daryl Jenkins is a gold builder. I'm not a gold builder. I'm sorry. He is a director now, right? So that means that Jessica has a director in her matrix. Kind of, I could almost say on the humble, she has a director in her matrix. That means Tamia has a director in her matrix. Now look at Jessica's third spot. Her third spot was taken up by a young lady named Deborah Wells. I think I'm saying that name right. Deborah Lynn Wells, right? Now this person in her third spot, Jessica did not personally sponsor this person either. But they're in the third spot, right? Let's take a look at that spot. That third spot for Jessica has over 100 people in it again. This is amazing. So now there's another person that Jessica's reaping the benefits off of. Tamia's reaping the benefits off of. I'm saying all of this. If you have a spot in this matrix, you could be reaping some benefits just as well. When you have a spot in the matrix, you just never know what a person's going to do, where a person's going to come from, who's going to be the person that puts that person in the business. Now look, watch this. Under Deborah Lynn Wells, in the third spot, we're going to skip right on over to the third spot. In the third spot fell Mr. Billy Morton. And Mr. Billy Morton didn't know Deborah Lynn Wells, but because Jessica personally sponsored Mr. Billy Morton, he fell under Miss Deborah Lynn. And as you all full well know, Mr. Billy Morton is a director as well. So watch this. Jessica has 2 daggone directors in her matrix, getting paid like a boss. Now, both of them are also in the matrix of Tamia, getting paid like a boss. Understand they are getting this residual income on a monthly basis just because they took a position and just because they're paying $20 a month for that position. Prime real estate. Think about all the people that are underneath Mr. Billy Morton that's that position that Miss Deborah Lynn took. She's about to be blessed because of Mr. Billy Morton, right? He's never going to stop doing this business. He has under him, a Miss Wanda Childs. She's never going to stop doing this business. And that whole Philly and Delaware team are now underneath Miss Deborah Lynn, and underneath Miss Jessica, and underneath Miss Tamia. And collectively, everybody is eating together. That $4 a month per person is paid out to everybody. I mean, this ain't the best profit sharing opportunity I've ever seen in my life. I don't know what is. So now, don't commit matrix suicide. What is matrix suicide? This is important right here. Look, you see the guy in this picture. If you guys can see, I don't know how to zoom up in on it yet, but he's blindfolded. That him being blindfolded, in my opinion, represents lack of vision. He can't see. He don't know no better. He's about to walk off the matrix cliff. He don't know that it makes more sense to be a part of the matrix than to not be a part of the matrix. And I'm saying all this to say that some people quit our business, some people quit the opportunity or walk away or cancel those matrix positions, and they just don't understand. They just don't understand. Let's take a look. I'm going to show you guys some examples of people who walked away from this matrix and what they walked away from. Take a look at this person right here. They had one of my top positions, this young lady right here. She has 86 active ITAs in her matrix. 86 active ITAs. Now you can do the math. 86 times 4 is what this young lady was making or would have been making on a monthly basis. 86 times 4. But she decided that $20 a month was too much to cover that, right? Now, interestingly enough, look who fell in this young lady's matrix. And she quit. She walked away. But look who fell in this young lady's matrix. Miss Cheryl Campbell. And Miss Cheryl Campbell is getting it right now. She just hit 2020. She's a goal builder pushing her way towards director in training. But Cheryl Campbell fell in the matrix of the young lady that walked away. Now, why would she do that? We told you guys that this matrix is like prime real estate, but she walked away. Cheryl Campbell right now, again, look at this story. She has probably personally sponsored just about 22 people herself, but her matrix is paying her for 75 plus people. Do the math on that. She only personally sponsored 20 people, but she's getting paid monthly for 75 people. And that is on top of the weekly bonuses, the team bonuses, the travel commissions, the 50% match, the 10% residual income match. Having a matrix position just makes sense. To walk away from it is, in my opinion, crazy, or you just don't know, right? You don't have the vision that you needed to have had to understand that this thing makes sense. I brought this slide up right here to put the icing on the cake. When you take a position inside of this matrix, you never know who's going to become the next director. People are chasing directorship. Why? Because once you become a director, they're going to guarantee you $1,000 a month. Guaranteed. $1,000 a month. You become a director because you have a minimum of 100 people in your book of business. So can you imagine? That's an extra $400 a month right there just because you're a director. Can you imagine if you have a director in your matrix, whether you put them there or not? It's a $20 investment. Not a bill, it's a $20 investment in you. Prime real estate. Prime real estate in a company that is growing by leaps and bounds. I just gave you some real live examples of people that have 2 and 3 directors in their matrix, and some of them aren't even directors yet. There are people in the top 100 income earning positions with our company that are not directors, but they getting fat checks with commas in them every month because they took a $20 position within this matrix and they ran for the borders, right? Worst case scenario, you take a $20 position and you go gold because it unlocks the entire matrix. $20 position and go gold. Now, I brought this slide up right here, guys, because this is the reason why you want to do all this. Because of these 3 gentlemen right here, Mr. Donald Bradley, Mr. James Farrar, the owners of Planet Marketing and IntelliTravel. But more importantly, because of the global leadership that Mr. Andy Kaufman brings to the table, from doing what he does as president and CFO of our company. He has experience in growing multi-billion-dollar companies. Right? The last project that we were just a part of, Mr. Donald Bradley was one of the ones who spearheaded the growth with that company in such a short period of time. But Mr. Andy Kaufman, inside of travel, is a genius as it pertains to growth. And Mr. Donald Bradley was a genius for hiring him and having him help this company grow. I'm saying all this to say that we are in a position with the timing and position of this company that if you take advantage of this matrix and you let your team members know that when they partner with you to take advantage of this matrix, go take advantage of this matrix and watch what these 3 gentlemen do to this company and to your pockets. I promise you, it is amazing. Let me show you guys some snippets. This is a clip. This is a clip right here from a 2008 travel convention. I mean, they got all kinds of guest singers and choirs, the bells and whistles. I want you guys to look at this clip and look at how many people are in attendance. They had to rent out like a stadium to host a travel event. And this was back in 2008. This particular travel company at its height was about 200,000 reps strong. Look at all them people. That's a lot of daggone people at a travel convention. And what I'm sharing with you guys is this is where we're headed. We're just 30,000 deep right now. Look at that. If that isn't the man with the plan, Mr. Andy Kaufman, he's the gentleman that spearheaded the growth for that travel company back in 2008, leading them to over 200,000 reps. They had the same vision for Planet Marketing and IntelliTravel right now. The question is, of the next 100 or 200,000 members that partner with Planet Marketing and IntelliTravel, how many of those people will be in your matrix? That's the question. The question is, what do you think about when you think about that picture right there? I think about freedom, right? Freedom ain't free, but I think about freedom. And I think about with all of the people that are partnering with us inside of Planet Marketing, I think about the lives that we're going to be able to change as a result of this opportunity and this matrix. I'm telling you, I have been in this industry for 18 years. I've never seen a matrix like this one. A true compressed matrix that pays out on a regular basis. I'm going to leave y'all with this right here. The income disclosure statement. This is Planet Marketing telling you straight up and down, listen, we're not hiding our income. We're letting you know that if you follow our system, you can get paid, right? A gold builder, meaning you only sponsored 9 people. On the high last year, a gold builder, after having personally sponsored 9 people, made $40,000 last year. They sponsored 9 people. The average was about $3,000. That's not bad, right? Look, if you want to become a director, the average for on the low for a director was 18,000. A 1-star director made $67,000 last year, and most of the people who partner with us are part-time. Understand this matrix is the reason why people are making so much money right now. This matrix is the reason why you have so many of these new 6-figure ring earners popping up all over the place. It's because of the matrix. And as this company grows, there are going to be a whole lot more stories as to how this matrix is blessing people. Now, the question is, will you be clapping for somebody else's story, or will you have your very own story? Now let's take a listen to some testimonies from Cheryl Campbell on the matrix.
Well, when I first heard about the matrix, I really didn't understand it, but I knew that it was real because I saw numbers. And it started off really small, but I got excited on that because I knew that if I stayed in it, it was going to continue to grow on the faith and belief of what I've been seeing other people, receive from it. And as of today, when I look at the matrix on the 10th of the month, I'm like, oh my goodness. It's just like it's growing to the point where now I can see the fruit of the labor that has been, put into the work of what I've done thus far. And I haven't been in the business 2 years. I've never, ever made this type of money in any other network marketing business that I've been in. And I've been in a lot of them. I paid a lot out, but this time it's coming back. And I just want to let everybody know that it's so worth $20. I mean, we spend $20 every month, every day almost. Why not put it into your future so you can continue to have the freedom? Because I'm trying to get retired. I'm tired of working for somebody else. And this matrix gives me a glimpse of hope that freedom is near.
Now let's listen to Jessica Miser as she speaks about the travel money and the matrix. Check it out.
For me, with the travel money, that's just added into the matrix money. What I love about that part, though, being a goal builder, is the overrides. Like, they're absolutely amazing. I have some agents that are doing some amazing, fantastic things, group cruises and stuff like that. So that part of the business is amazing. Outside of me booking my own travel as well. You know what? In the very beginning, especially with us transitioning, I was excited to just start over. And starting over with something that actually works, that's actually growing, it's been a blessing. When we first started out, it was like Cheryl just said, you saw it. The next month it got bigger. It got bigger when we hit goal with the matches, the matrix 10% matches that kind of carry you over to that next, dollar amount or add a zero. So that's been like super amazing and exciting. Because of this matrix money every month, it's actually helped me to maintain my lifestyle. It's helped me to maintain my son's lifestyle of what he's been accustomed to. So what Mr. Bradley has created has actually truly been a blessing for my household, because if it was not for that, if it was not for the travel commissions, if it wasn't for the travel overrides, I don't know where I would be. And I'm excited for this process because, again, it's growing. Definitely, if you haven't started growing your business and taking it serious with building, definitely get into it now. So you got to do this, so get uncomfortable. Don't get so complacent. Don't be comfortable. Get uncomfortable and just really trust that it grows, because it does. And it adds zeros and adds zeros. So, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And now, last but not least, let's hear from Miss Tamia Jones on the Matrix as she works from home.
Wow. Well, the Matrix is actually helping me pay a lot of bills. Now that we've moved into our home, and that was thanks to the Matrix as well. But now that we've moved into our home, with the cost of oil here is very expensive. It's helping me pay that, which is almost like $400 a month. It helps me to pay my insurance, utilities, and just things for my children as well, their expenses. I've just been going through some things with my teenage son. And one of my whole paychecks were wiped out. If it wasn't for the fact that I had a spot in the Matrix, I wouldn't have had nothing to fall back on. I was, at one time I would have just been crying or in tears and had no backup plan. But I thank God that I positioned myself within this team, within this organization, and within this wonderful company. My youngest daughter now wants to take dance. I'm able to put her in her dance program that she's been wanting to do, and helping my mom. That's what I've really been doing with most of my money as well. Just helping my mother, who's now retired and has other expenses that come up with her, and just helping her pay her medical expenses. And it's just been life-changing, and I'm just blessed and appreciative and grateful. This is the most money I've ever made on a part-time basis with anything I've ever done.